Are you into this guy?
Wait. Do you want to bang Derulio? Bang, be banged. Why you gotta put labels on everything?
Yeah. Bang, be banged. Yeah, I'm like, what?
Yaphit and the Doctor in
Getting it
gelatinous
on.
lovemaking mode. Just all that weird.
Oh, the sound effects,
I'm gonna
bro.
give you
There were
sound
no
effects.
sound effects when we were watching it. Thank you for that. Thank you for adding so much to this moment.
Just sliming all over. Ugh.
She looks in pure glee here.
Mixed Teens presents the Popcast.
Hey, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the Popcast, and today we're talking about the Orville episode 9, and boy, was this a good one. First impressions for me was, damn, Rob Lowe's a sexy dude. Shane, how about you, bro?
I thought it was appropriate that his character basically is a sex god, not a sex god, but very sexual character. It makes sense for Rob Lowe. A lot of younger people don't know Rob Lowe's history. He was one of the first sex tape guys, famous people to have a sex tape on him. They even made a movie about it called Sex, Lies, and Videotape. So Rob Lowe's fantastic. Love seeing him in this. I didn't realize they were going to bring him back at some point to actually be on the show, and I thought he was a perfect fit with the crew.
You know what's funny? The very first episode when I realized, oh my god, this throwaway character is Rob Lowe, I thought, Seth Macfarlane has such pull that even the throwaway characters that you're never going to see again are like Rob Lowe level actors. And now I know why it wasn't a throwaway character. They were planning on bringing him back the whole time, which is great. Which is really great.
Which is great, yeah. I mean, it took Seth, Ed right back to that horrible moment in his life, and yeah, it was really great watching. And you're like, oh, Kelly, come on, you don't have to fall for this guy again. But as we learn as to what's really going on, so
really good stuff. Okay, let's just get into
show.
Let's pay some bills real quick and let you guys know about our subscriber contest.
Woohoo!
We're getting really close to 1,600 subs. Remember, we just did 800 subs. We did the giveaway, and we gave away 3 tickets to Siberian Winks and her 2 friends to see Star Wars premiere when it comes out with a movie and with dinner and candy and popcorn and all that good stuff. So if you want to be a part of the next big giveaway, the 1,600 sub one, then mash that subscribe button, comment below, and you will be a part of that drawing. And
by the way, it's Siberia's mom and her sister, which I thought was really cool.
Awesome. And if you like our Visit Ryza, the Pleasure Planet t-shirt, you can check out the link to get that in the description below. Let's get right into the show.
Yes, let's do it.
Well, we open up with Kelly singing all night, all every night. And good way
That's
to
Journey,
open.
by the way.
Yeah, Journey. I love Journey, by the way.
Yeah, Journey's awesome. I have a great story about Journey.
Talk to me.
Back when we used to actually have cassette tapes, and I don't want to date myself too much here.
What are cassette tapes?
I know, cassette tapes. Yeah, they're actually little tapes that used to have like actual tape inside of the cassette. I mean, that's why you called it a cassette
like
tape.
Sticky tape?
No, shut up. So anyways, it would be inside, right? And so you actually had, cassette players in your cars. And some older models still have them. But basically, I had a Journey tape stuck in my cassette player for about a year. I couldn't get it out.
Oh, nice.
Right. It was their greatest hits. I couldn't get it out. And it was just there for a whole year. It was stuck. And so I just basically played the songs over and over and over again. It would drive everybody who rode with me crazy. They're like, you're playing this still? I'm like, I can't get it out. And also back then when you put your tape in, you couldn't put the radio on because the tape was going.
Yeah.
So you were just stuck with what you got. It's fantastic.
Dude, I had a friend of mine who had an old VW, and his buddy goes like, hey, check out this death metal mix. This music is hilarious. And he gives him the tape, and he puts it in. The tape it's old and messed up and grungy, So it gets stuck in his radio.
Right.
And this was my senior year of high school, which I guess I'm dating myself now too. So every time he turned the radio on, no matter what, because when the tape is in there, it takes over the deck. It was just like.
That's hilarious. Hilarious.
He didn't like that music.
He didn't even like that kind of music.
He put it in there because the guy's like, check out this crazy death metal, and then he couldn't get it out. And so I don't know if he ever fixed it, man. I remember every time getting into the car, someone would be like, turn the radio on. He's like, okay. Yeah, man.
So there you go. So there's your old music.
Now
stories.
you know why they phased out cassette tapes, because that happened often.
Yes, it did.
I remember the whole like sticking the pen in there and having to spin the film back on it. Goodness gracious.
Oh yeah, it was a big pain in the butt.
Yeah.
So she's singing Journey basically, and apparently people are enjoying it because they're giving her some. I think she got a nice little applause.
Karaoke night on the Orville, and we see this new character, and I love this guy, and I don't even know what he does, but I love that they're always introducing like new aliens, and it's really unique, man. Like the level of makeup that goes into this, like his eyes are blinking. Like this is not like some like
no, it was great
cheesy cosplay, and this is not 3D either. Like this is physical makeup, and those eyes are moving and blinking. It's really clever stuff, dude.
Well, and it was over and over again this episode. There were several characters like that.
Oh, dude, the guy in the elevator. That was, like, you could see through his head. That was so unique. Okay, anyways. The visual graphics on this show are just next level stuff, man. Like, I really hope they get the same budget for season 2 and they don't get, like, a downgrade or something like that. That would bum me out.
I would love it. Yeah, let's keep doing it. This is because everything's so good so far.
So this guy calls Bortus up, and everybody's like, Bortus? And Bortus is going to sing, I forgot the song. The song from Titanic.
Yeah, My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah. And I love it when they're like, oh, yeah, go Bortus. He's like, silence! You will be silent!
Yeah, and Gordon's like, oh. Yeah,
that was really great, man.
That was awesome.
That was my first big laugh right there when he did that. And they get called right before we get to hear Bortus saying they get called by Admiral. This guy is, we thought he was only going to be in that first episode, but it looks like he's going to be a recurring guest to some degree, even though he's on Legends right now.
Yeah, Victor Garber. Very good actor.
Yeah, and he explains that there's a plan.
Oh, and by the way, he was in Titanic. Just saying.
Right.
The movie.
Right.
He was the shipbuilder.
That's right, yeah. And he explains that there's a planet that is being warred over by two races that one claims that that's their planet and they were born there, and the other claims it's their planet and they were born there, and we're bound to see this.
The Varians and the Beridians.
You're bound to see this in, future spacefaring, where eventually races forget who the first ones on the planet was, right?
Right.
So I thought that was fascinating to see, and they're gonna go and they found this ancient artifact where it's gonna prove which race owns a planet, and they said that they would honor the results of that test, and in the meantime try to get them to be peaceful.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's cool. A good setup, good sci-fi setup. I like it. So far so good. That's the planet there. It's a small planet with a couple moons. Okay, moving on.
There's Rob.
This is Rob. So remember, a forensic archaeologist has to do the test. So when the forensic archaeologist is transferring to their ship, it's no other than Darulio, the guy who slept with Commander Kelly and broke up their marriage, played by Rob Lowe. Great.
Right.
Rob Lowe did so good, man.
He was really great in this movie.
Again,
he's
makeup
just so
is
laid back and
outstanding.
easygoing.
Yeah. He's like, okay, hey, you're allowed to be upset. You can have that space. And I mean,
yeah.
Captain Ed was like, oh, this would light me on fire, and then be like, it's okay to be in pain. I thought that was great. Well, you were screwing up my wife at the time. I love the way Ed talks, man.
Yeah, no, by the way, Seth MacFarlane was fantastic in this episode.
Oh, so good.
His acting was really good.
So good.
He delivered.
He really
Anybody
did.
who's been criticizing him, he really delivered in this episode.
Yeah, he did. I mean, listen, guys, everybody in this episode, everybody. I can't even like point out a weak link. Usually the weak link is like Yoffbit, like always fun to see every once in a while, but he's usually the weak link because like it's sort of a joke. But this episode, we not only get we're gonna get to it. I'm sorry, we're gonna get to it. Okay.
Keep it coming.
Yeah. All right. So I love this character. The elevator character was so great.
So this guy's name is Dan. That's the character's name.
Dan. His name is Dan.
Dan.
Doesn't even get better.
It's played by Mike Henry. When you were listening to him talk, did you think the voice sounded familiar?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that's because it is the voice of Cleveland from Family Guy.
Perfect. I love that
that's who it is. That's the guy who does the voice for Cleveland.
All right. So
and Consuela.
Is it the actor too?
I mean, he's the guy who voices it.
He does Consuela too? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he as always, Seth brought in his team and gave him little parts, and he delivered well. I thought it was great.
Well, so they're fighting, right? Because they're obviously arguing. Kelly was his ex-wife, and she slept with this dude at the very first episode. That's what broke them up.
The whole reason they're here the whole reason they're at this point is as a result of that incident.
Right. Now they're about to get into the elevator, and so because they're good commanding officers, they stop arguing in front of Dan.
That's right. Don't fight in front of the kids.
And they're sitting in there, and Dan, with his bulbous head, is like, "Hey, what would be great? Sorry, music would be
Isn't
great."
That great makeup?
Makeup is fantastic. You actually see another shot of him from the back where the head's like translucent.
Right.
No, it's great makeup, dude. I mean, it's the makeup on this show is phenomenal. I mean, I can't. It's like movie level quality, guys. I can't tell you, man.
Yeah, Fox is going to have to get some sort of award for this.
The makeup has been so good. And the crazy part is, like, I'm not down on anything, but like if you put it up against other sci-fi shows that are happening right now, it's like, okay.
It's true.
But yeah, he's talking about music, and they're like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll look into that.
Yeah, there's some music in this elevator.
Now, Derulio, played by Rob Lowe. I'm gonna keep saying that.
I feel so bamboozled. Like, I can't believe I forgot this part of this. It's not typical for me to watch a show and forget this little incident because it's important. People don't just do things. They don't spend a bunch of money on graphics for this, and so this, of course, this plays later in the show, and it caught me off guard, which doesn't normally. So kudos to the team for making it for catching me for sure.
Well, you see, I didn't know it was going to be that important because in the very first episode, they spend the money on graphics and all that stuff and have Ed just knock into this dude.
So maybe that was, so maybe he's used to getting stepped on was the point.
So initially I was like, oh, they're just keeping that joke going. I didn't even know it was a very important part of it. And I love this when he's like, just put it anywhere. You don't have to find my G-spot. That was funny.
Yeah.
Like
that was a good joke.
I straight up chuckled at that. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Again, important.
Norm Macdonald's great for this.
That the pheromones from his hands are now transferring to this gelatinous, alien.
Makes sense. Now
we go to the sick bay because that's where Yaphet's going with his flowers and his guitar, and we see Bortus and Clyden with their baby. And I love how
Bortus can't take a break, man.
Bortus is like,
Bortus can't catch a break.
No, he can't. He's like, Clyden will not stop eating, and the child never sleeps.
Clyden won't stop eating. I love that.
Yeah. So yeah. If you're out there and you have kids, you know what's going on right now. When you first have a child, I had twins. It's hard because they don't sleep very often. They're like little drunk dictators that just dictate your time, and you still have to go to work, and you still have to do all the normal stuff you're doing in addition to dealing with the demands of the little drunk dictator that wants everything from you.
Yeah, you can't have a bad day when you're a parent. That's just the way it is.
Now, and remember, I had twins, so I totally know where Boris is coming from here. Clyde never stops eating, and the child never sleeps. When did we resume regular relations?
Yeah, no, it's pretty funny. Yeah, Bortus is a character I actually love seeing. I don't feel like we get enough of him.
We don't. Even when we had an entire episode sort of dedicated to him, I still love him.
Yeah.
He's really funny. Now, so yeah, the doctor basically tells him, by the way, that it'll get better. So, Yaphet comes in, he's again still trying to court the doctor, and I initially thought, I wonder when they're gonna let this joke go, because it's not that funny. It was sort of funny the first time, but like now we've seen it 3 times, and it was
actually a little uncomfortable this time.
Yeah, I'm like, and then when she was like, stop it right now. And he's like, oh, I had to try. And he got bummed out. I was like, damn, that's not even funny. That's sort of mean now.
Yeah, it's kind of mean and harsh. She's like, do this again and I'll do a formal report on you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang.
Yeah, the funny thing to me was like, I thought at this point that they were trying to do the bit and they like just took it too far, and now it's just mean and sad. And he's like, he's slithering out there, and I'm like, this was not good. I thought I was going to criticize this today.
Yeah, up until this point in the show, I was like, uh-oh, we're gonna finally have a bad Orville episode? Is this what's going on?
That's what I was thinking, too. I thought it was going to be a bad Orville, like a bunch of unnecessary, messy stuff, but everything tied together so perfectly. So, Kelly goes to see
so funny
Derulio. Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about Rob Lowe's character. He's really quite outstanding.
He is. Well, Rob Lowe's a great actor. I mean,
what an actor, and the makeup is so good. And
yeah, it's perfect. He's so not attractive looking.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah, that's what makes it so funny, yeah. Yeah, there's a line where he's like, I forgot how gorgeous he was, and Elora's like, gorgeous? Really?
What?
So she's down there to tell him basically like, hey, there's nothing going on between us. I don't want any problems. Let's just keep it professional. But she starts to woo a little bit, and he like throws her hair back, and he starts talking about a sex drive, and here we are. She's starting to get once again enamored with Derulio, and at this point we don't know why. We just assume that maybe she's into his species.
Well, and he's doing it intentionally.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that is very subtly done here is him moving the hair out of her, moving the hair and complimenting her, and he's got a motive behind this.
Of course, she's a beautiful woman. Excuse me. Sorry, that went down the wrong pipe. All right. And then we get the Isaac shot. Isaac's like, listen, the ambassadors are here and there's no one to receive them. Ed goes, where is Commander Kelly? She was supposed to receive the ambassadors. He goes into her quarters to find out where she is because she's not answering, and he sees this again.
Don't.
And they did
it's basically a repeat of the exact same thing that happened before.
They did the blue squirt thing out of his head. It's so great. It's so great.
Disgusting. So disgusting.
She comes running after him, and he's like, Ed, wait, Ed. And they're arguing, and she's explaining, like, look, I don't have to explain anything to you because, we're allowed to see whoever we want. And, of course...
There's Dan.
Whoa, we gotta stop meeting like this, guys.
Hey.
And they stop fighting. It's uncomfortable again. And he's like, so how about that music? He goes, you know what, Dan?
Yeah.
Why don't you just make that your project, Dan?
Yeah, exactly. And you knew that was gonna come back later.
Yeah. I was actually thinking, I'm like, what song are they gonna choose, right?
Right.
Now we see these aliens, and boy, again, the makeup is just outstanding.
It's so good, man.
It's so good. I'm going to keep singing the praise because it's worthy of it. Whoever is doing the makeup at the Orville needs a freaking award, man. If they keep this up the whole season, I feel like they need something for it. And comedies usually don't get anything, so we'll see how it goes.
They don't, but I mean, you're right, 100%. And something needs to happen here for these folks.
The makeup is so good. The aliens are so unique and believable, and like, I'm really quite enamored, to use that word again, with the makeup on this show. Now these guys, they don't like each other. These are the two races that live on the planet that, you know, each believe that they have a right to the planet because they were the first one there, and they're there to see the outcome of the test and see if the test proves which of them have ancient DNA on the planet so that one can take over the planet. Okay. Then we go to Kelly. Oh, Ed, by the way, Ed handles this perfectly. Look, hey, we got salt water in your quarters. You got food. You just chill out. You know, check out he's a very captain-like right here.
Yeah, no, he nailed this. He was smooth, I guess is the best word. He was,
yeah.
You know, they were like, okay, thanks. I mean, they were actually responding well to what he was doing. So
almost
super
Picard-like.
Yes, I was going to say that. Almost
yeah.
Picard-like.
And then we go to Kelly and Elora. So they're friends. I like that they showed us that. They're actually like... There was an episode where Kelly needed Elora's help, and I guess they bonded that episode because now they're just hanging out and they're buddies. And you know, Kelly is telling her how she thinks that dude's gorgeous, and Elora goes, "Gorgeous? Really?"
Yeah.
And they're just chilling out, drinking some Merlot, talking about how fantastic Derulio is, and the whole time Elora is like, something's not right here. That's weird. Which is great. Again, interpersonal character building. I like to see that. All right, now we do the same thing, but it's a negative reaction. Malloy was great this episode.
He really was.
He's Captain Ed's buddies. Like, he's like his sounding board. And like Captain Ed's complaining about this guy. He's like, well, you know, maybe
he did try to tell him. He's like, well, you know, you guys, you know, did say you could date other people.
Right. And he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna tell him he's fired. That's it. I'm gonna fire Derulio.
Right.
And he walks in there. He's like, pack your crap up. You're fired. So it's like, you know, you have absolutely every right to be angry. But you want to see something cool?
He's like, what?
I love this. Captain Ed goes over there, and I guess he gets closer to him and gets another shot of them pheromones because
right.
There's the ancient DNA. He starts. And by the way, go ahead.
At that point, when I saw the ancient DNA, I had guessed in my mind. I was like, it's going to be both of those. It's going to be both of their DNAs.
Yeah,
common ancestor. I figured if you look at those the Navarians and the Beridians, they both have purplish skin, you know, right. So you could just kind of tell they probably came from the same place.
Right. Now this is when Ed's character really starts to change. I'm telling you, Seth Macfarlane killed the acting this episode.
He did. He made a character adjustment here that was fantastic.
It was really good. He goes from being like blazing hot red angry to being like understanding to being like, again, enamored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, groovy. I don't know why I use that word. Why am I using that word groovy? What is that? I don't use that word.
Right.
And then we get to Claire, and Claire is
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't see this coming at all. I thought that was Kelly. When they first showed it from behind, I was like, oh, that's Kelly.
I did too. Yeah.
Making a play for Derulio. And then when I saw it was a darker hand, I was like, oh my God, it's Claire. And she's like, you gonna invite me in, big boy? And Yaphet's like, absolutely. Come on in.
Yeah. He was actually a little taken off with the forwardness.
Yeah. This is when we see a lot of Yaphet and get more information on his character. First of all, that's his bed. That's awesome. I'm so glad he's
spread out.
Yeah, I'm glad his quarters were so designed for him. Like everything in that quarters. First of all, there was a pool like this, like for his bed. And then there was a smaller pool, which I assume is his chair.
Okay.
Everything's everything's low on the ground. The lights are low on the ground. Everything sort of fits his. Yeah,
I thought that was very cool, and it just shows how much energy and effort it must take to hold himself together as a glob. that he could relax into this state.
Right. Yeah. As a this is where he sleeps. And then it showed also how he reproduces. If they don't reproduce like we do, they reproduce through mitosis, which means they split and create two. So his mother split and create him and his brother, right?
Yeah.
I love how he's like,
cool.
My brother got the looks.
Yeah.
That was funny. And his brother it looks like he has a nose and eyes there. That was great, man. And then she goes, "Why don't you kiss me, Yaphet?" And he puts the lips up. I thought this was great. Everything was fantastic. I never thought I would say, and like if you told me episode 1, there's gonna be an episode where you think Yaphet's character is not just a cheesy comedy riff, but actually an important part of the ship. I wouldn't have guessed, man.
Yeah, and later on he has even a role.
Yeah,
on the ship.
Another reason why he's important to the ship. Like, there's a reason why he's so important to the ship, and I'm so glad that they built this into his character.
Yeah, although this did creep me out a little bit.
When he kissed her with the lips, that was
a little creepy.
That was weird. Okay, now
looked like she was Frenching it.
Yeah. I didn't get a shot at that for obvious reasons. All right, now they're back in Ed's quarters. Ed is talking to Malloy. And he's like, "Oh no, he's actually really cool." You know, this scene, man. I
love this scene. This is my favorite.
The whole time. You want to explain this one?
Yeah, I mean, basically, you've got Captain Ed, kind of like a I would guess, almost like a girl, getting ready to go out for a date.
Yeah.
Just kind of, doesn't know what to wear. He says he wants to look stylish because he's always looking so, Derulio is always so stylish dressed.
Stylish.
So he wants to wear something. He's just a giddy schoolgirl here, man. That's what he is.
Oh, it's not like we're getting married or anything. Ha ha ha. And the guy's like, "What?"
Yeah, right. Yeah. Gordon Malloy, man. Lieutenant Malloy. He's like, Are you into this guy?
Wait. Do you want to bang Derulio?
Right.
He's like, why? Why do we got to put labels and everything? Why is that? Yeah. He's like, why is a box a box? And he goes, maybe because of words. Like, we need words to talk about things.
To describe things.
Yeah. This is. Do you want to bang Derulio? Oh man, I love this.
And let me tell you, Seth Macfarlane doesn't deny it. He doesn't even deny it. He kind of just changes gears.
No, he's like, bang, be banged. Why you gotta put labels on everything?
Yeah, bang, be banged. Yeah, I'm like, what? That's crazy. So funny.
Oh, then we're in the mess hall, and Elora is talking to. Wow, I just forgot this guy's name.
Oh, well, let me help you out there. It's Lieutenant John Lamar.
Lamar, thank you. And he's like, yeah, Kelly's acting weird, and he's like, maybe she's on drugs. And she's like, the first officer is not on drugs. He goes, don't fool yourself. The whole ship's on drugs.
Yes, that was funny.
And then this guy comes in, and he's like, I'm not being able to get a captain. I'm mad. Yeah, he's frustrated. And then we see the captain. He's coming into the mess hall looking all fly. He gets stopped by the ambassador. And
he basically gives him the hand.
Yeah, he's like, listen, just relax, wait for the results. And then he goes to meet his Derulio for drinks, and lo and behold, Kelly is there, also looking as fly as possible in that uniform.
Isn't it great how they're like competing right now at this point?
I love Kelly's face here. She's like, oh, hello, Ed.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. He goes to get drinks. I'm sorry. He wants her to go talk to the ambassadors, and he's like, why don't you go distract them with your breast? Calling attention to the fact that her shirt's open. Derulio says he's going to go get some drinks, and they come back, and these drinks are interesting. It looks like a piece of candy on there or whatever. I know it's just colored water, but it's always interesting in like sci-fi shows how they do drinks in the future, Always found that fascinating. Cool. Now we go to the bridge, and Bortus is on the bridge, and the other ambassador is like, where is the captain?
Right. Can't get a hold of the captain or the first officer.
Can't get a hold of the captain or the first officer. And so the ambassadors are getting restless.
It's getting real around here.
Right, the doctor's kids come in. We met last episode.
Whoa.
Ty and the bigger, dumber one. I forgot what his name was.
What?
That's what Isaac said. He said the older, dumber one. Remember?
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Remember
So,
last episode. Isaac called him
It's
the
Marcus.
older, dumber one. Yeah, Marcus.
Marcus.
Which I thought was hilarious. All right, so Ty and Marcus goes, I haven't seen Mom. She's in her, she's in her office and she won't come out. And
She locked herself in.
yeah, and so Elora goes there to find out what's going on. She has to use her security override to get in, and we see Yaphet and the Doctor in gelatinous lovemaking mode, just all that weird.
Oh, the sound effects, bro. There were no sound effects when we were watching it. Thank you for that. Thank you for adding so much to this moment.
Just sliming all over. Ugh.
She looks in pure glee here.
Yes. I want to try that. It looks like a nice bath.
I don't know what the heck you would find. You know how much material you would need to give yourself this kind of a bath?
I don't know, man.
It would be hilarious. If you do it, let's get a picture of you so we can put it up.
It's me naked in like a green bath. This is my cosplay. I'm cosplaying as Yaphet and I'm making love.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Yeah. So she's talking to Claire. Claire's like, I'm in love with Yaphet. And Elora is like, what the hell is going on? Clearly there's something wrong going on. And we go to the captain.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Captain made a picnic basket for him and Derulio.
That's right. He made his own banana nut bread, his own, not Kelly's dry stuff.
Not your dry banana bread, Kelly. This is my own recipe.
That's so funny.
And Derulio agrees to go on a picnic with him or have dinner with him, whatever, and the captain's happy. I love the face here on Elora. She's looking at Captain like, what the hell?
I know, right?
And
we're all like this. We all don't have a clue as to what's happened at this point.
Right. And then she gets it out of him. And he's like, okay, you caught me. Once a year I go into heat and for a few days or whatever, and I release this pheromone that gets everybody attracted to me. It's the way our species reproduces or whatever.
Right.
Which makes a lot of sense now, because earlier in the episode he did say that his species find it rude to turn down sex, and now we know why they would find it rude to turn down sex. Because it's chemically induced, right?
Mm.
And then he explains that he tripped over Yaphet in the corridor, and he must have transferred some of those pheromones to him, which is why Yaphet and Claire are acting cray-cray.
Yes.
Or Claire. Now, I love this. They're arguing again, and in the elevator, and who comes into the elevator? First of all, there's music in there, and Dan comes into the elevator.
Oh, yes.
He's like, hey, I got him to put the music in. And Kelly's like, what do you just roll up and down the elevator all day? Is that your freaking job?
Yeah, it was so funny when you said that. I'm like, and Dan's like, whoa.
Look at that head, though, man. Like, oh, my God. The quality of workmanship that went into producing this head.
It's a full mask right there. Yeah, all the way around.
It's so good. Captain N's like, you're good, man. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
They get to the ambassadors, and, they're about to go to war right here. And instead of Captain Ed calming them down, he's like, I met the most amazing guy.
So bad.
I love this, man. And they're like, we are going to war, no whether you like it or not. And the captain's like, well, I got a date to get ready for. Have a good one. Good luck. So we meet this new character, Nurse.
Yep.
The nurse. I'm just gonna
yep.
call him that.
Henry Park, played by Gavin Lee.
Yep. And hopefully we'll see more of him. He seems more like a normal, not a Orville type character. But we'll see how we get more.
Well, he's basically Dr. Flynn's right-hand man.
Right. They're trying to find an antidote to the pheromone. There is no known antidote, so it's just going to have to wear off, period. The two races are about to go to war. Their ships come in. There's hundreds of them. They're going to fight it out right in front of the Orville. The Orville's like, okay, I love this. Moira's like, oh man, this is not good.
Yeah.
Then we go to the captain and Malloy. They're trying to get a hold of.
By the way,
Captain and Delua.
By the way, my wife has never seen this show.
way,
This is the moment when she walks in. Right. This is the moment when she sees the Orville for the first time. And I'm sitting there in my chair watching it because, of course, I've been sick. If you guys can't tell, I'm a little down.
of course, you don't have your pants
So I'm
on.
watching it. And she's like, what are you watching?
Yeah.
And then Seth MacFarlane pops around the corner and she's like, what? So, yeah, it was pretty
Awesome.
pretty crazy.
So they're trying to get a hold of Captain Ed, and he's like, don't answer. Don't answer. I'm not here. So he's obviously making love to Derulio.
Yeah.
Commander Kelly is also indisposed. She's eating chocolate, upset that Ed scooped her guy.
Right.
And Derulio's like, those fleets are about to destroy each other. Don't you belong on the bridge? And he's like, I'm always on the bridge. That's boring.
What does it matter?
I just want to, feel your taunt body. And so he's indisposed. He ain't helping nothing. But I love the way they deal with the problem, the crew. So they're like, we're not going to stand down. We're going to fight out to the death. So initially they're like, well, let's expand our deflector, for a moment to stop them from fighting. And this is when we go, this is why we need you fought. I love this because the chief engineer says, look, I need you fought down here. He's the only one fast enough to get to those conduits quick enough, which is great. That's his purpose. And we saw him, and he's an engineer guy, right?
Right.
So that's his job on the ship is basically moving around the ship as fast as possible. That's why they're able to accomplish things faster than maybe other crews are. That's really
I really
great.
like that they have this because up until this point, you're not exactly sure what his point was, what his purpose was in the ship, and now we know.
Right? Yeah, he moves around the Jeffries, not called Jeffrey troops, but
Oh, did you just say Jeffrey's tubes?
the conduits. Sorry, the conduits.
Right. That's fine.
Now,
Forgiven.
Derulio goes, look, guys, I think I know how to help you guys out. And Yaphet, on the way to engineering, they don't do the deflector because on the way to engineering, he gets caught by a very angry Claire, who's mad that he hasn't answered her 900 voicemails.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So she's really into Yaphet at this point. And the engineer, I thought this was going to become really bad. Like maybe he was going to hurt Yaphet because he was like, yeah, he hasn't made it to engineering.
Right.
But Derulio comes through. They make a super version of his pheromone, and they get these guys to shake hands with it, and they become chemically
This was
induced,
the payoff moment.
temporarily in love, and I laughed my butt off when they started making out on the bridge of the ship.
This was a hilarious portion of the show.
Oh
Absolutely
my god, this
funny.
was so funny, man.
It was the payoff for the whole episode.
It really was. They called they called their ships off. They made their fleets stand down, and they proceeded to tongue kiss on the
I
bridge.
can't quite get that image out of my head, but yeah, for sure.
Well, now it's our thumbnail. No, I'm kidding. It's not our thumbnail.
You would.
Yeah, I would. No, so it was a great payoff. I laughed my butt off. I thought it was really funny. Great storytelling. I mean, what a great story this was. And when I initially thought it was messy, it's almost like they were like bringing your, expectations down low, and they brought it all together. And really, this episode was quite good.
Well, and I hate to do comparisons and stuff like that. This is what we like about the Orville. We get a traditional, don't want to say Star Trek, but let's just go ahead and say Star Trek. Ambassadors come aboard this ship where your main characters are the basically the people trying to stop the war.
Right.
So we got that. We've had that in Trek for years and years and years. And then you have this pheromone, this nice little interwoven story that explains the odd behavior. Unlike Star Trek Discovery, where there was no strange behavior, explaining away the weirdness that we had with Saru in that last episode. So it's just another mirror of how the Orville is completely kicking the crap out of Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, what's going on with? They seem to be making episode like the Orville episode will come out after the Disco episode, the Monday before, and there'll be like extreme comparisons between the two.
I've noticed that too, and I mean they've done this stuff way in advance, so I don't know. It's got to be coincidence.
Yeah, I guess they're just getting lucky. I guess.
I mean, but they're nailing it. I mean, they're totally finishing things that are not being finished by the other production company.
Right. It's almost like the writers, like, I don't know. If I was a conspiracy theorist, I'm like, do they have like the scripts? And they're like, well, let's make sure episodes have a similar moral, but let's correct it. Or I don't know. I can't explain.
I mean, it's possible. I don't go far into conspiracy theories, but I'll tell you this: the writers of this show, I think, are heads above the writers of that other show.
Yeah. We experienced that with last week's episode, Into the Fold, which was not our favorite episode, but the way they sort of did it better than Disco had done it the Monday before. Then this episode, characters acting crazy, and somehow they do it better than...
Right.
And very interesting. Okay. So, problem solved, at least for a few days. Or... So we thought, because apparently, remember, they have to honor the forensic anthropologist's decision. And
right.
The vessel holds DNA from both species because they share a common ancestor, which means they're both born on that planet, and they both have rights to it.
And it felt good to get that right. I'll be honest. I felt good about that. I was like, yes.
Right, which means after the pheromones wear off, there's still, there should be some basis of peace there. I love this, that also, in this final scene, we discover, and I thought about this right before this happened. Wait a minute, if he was in heat now, how long ago was his affair with Kelly? Was he in heat then? Which would explain why Kelly ended up being with him, and it would also build her character because obviously it's very difficult to control yourself when you're in touch with someone like this, right?
Right, yeah, because right now she basically has a huge flaw. According to the viewers, as we look at her, it's like, okay, well, she's obviously not able to. She has a loyalty issue,
right?
So maybe this helps her.
Yes, and then she asked him straight up, a year ago when we met, were you in heat? And he goes, maybe. So
yeah, look at that little smile on Rob Lowe right there. That was a yes. That was a yes. So from the audience perspective, right,
Kelly has been basically redeemed.
She's exonerated. She's off the hook. She's no longer the tawdry tramp.
Right. If anything, her going out of her way to get Ed this captainship and to get placed on his crew shows that she was so apologetic for what she did against her will almost. It really built, this explanation really built her character up. Before it was like, well, she's just trying to, make it right because she messed up so bad. Now it's like she's trying to make it right because she made an actual mistake. It wasn't like, it wasn't on purpose.
And they were smart. They were really smart because this nod and wink is really for the audience and it's not for the characters. So by him saying maybe, she's not completely off the hook. So it would actually change her behavior and the way that she acts on a day-to-day basis towards Ed. Right now, she still feels like she did him wrong.
Right.
And her character will still continue to feel like she had done wrong. But us as the audience is aware that she did not. And so that it'll allow the storyline to continue. It was just great writing. It's the way it should have been.
Really great writing.
Good job.
Yeah, and that's the end, guys. That's, we are trying to keep our recap reviews a little shorter. We didn't make them that short. We can still pass the 40-minute mark on this one. Yeah. But we are trying to keep it a little shorter. Let us know in the comments below if you would like our reviews to be a little tighter, a little shorter, or if you appreciate the super long form, because we actually had recap reviews that went over an hour.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't know how to shorten them. I don't know what we would. I like the recap of the episode the way we do it. So
Dude,
I don't know.
I just flew through this one, and we're still at 45 minutes.
No, I think we did good. We still took time. I talked about all the things I wanted to talk about. You know, you had a chance to talk about things you want to talk about. I apologize to everybody if you're not getting the same energy you normally get from me. I've been sick the last couple of days.
We're both sick. I'm sick.
Yeah, we're both actually sick right now. So but we knew we could not miss these episodes, and you will have your boxing video today as well.
Don't worry. Tylenol and water. I'm hopped up on Tylenol, water, and caffeine.
I'm actually on white grapefruit juice. Drinking as much of it as I can.
Nice. Yeah, I've been just downing vitamin C and drugs since last night, because we got to get through these episodes. We actually missed our Survivor episode yesterday because we were just too sick.
We were too sick, so
no level of drugs to do it. Okay, guys.
If anybody wants to hear a little recap of that, let us know. We'll do something.
Yeah, if you really want to recap of yesterday's Survivor, Wednesday's Survivor, we'll make it work for you. Let us know in the comments below. And of course, subscribe and comment and alerts and all that good stuff to be a part of our next boxing video. Next coming up is going to be our boxing video, so stay tuned for that. Again, if you like our Visit Ryza shirt, our Star Trek shirts, the link to this is in the description down below. Thanks ahead of time for your support, and we'll see you guys in a few hours for our Hunger Games style, not a boxing video, but it's the who wins for the boxing
who will
video.
Win the boxing, yes.
Right. All right, see you guys then.
See you then.